So, you've finally done it after years of saying,
Why do I have to go all the way over there? There's still so much stuff I haven't seen here in America.
you've broken down and booked that trip to Europe.
It's my happy day, I want to sing it all the day. My best friends are always with me.
You head to your hotel, dizzy with anticipation. Visions of Emily in Paris and the crown dancing in your head. Now you've got your key, you open your hotel door, and reality check, guys. We're not in Kansas anymore. Hotels here in Europe are different than those in the US, but that's okay. In fact, it's better than okay. And here are my 6 reasons why. Boy, oh boy, this is stunning. Number 1, they're living history. That dated decor, it's intentional. Totally gives you the Florence feeling, as opposed to sort of one of these modern hotels that are cavernous and sort of sterile. 16th century building. A hefty chunk of European hotels are housed in centuries-old buildings. Ancient towers, medieval castles, Renaissance palaces, Georgian townhouses, and even monasteries. The hotel is set in a 13th century palazzo, once a home for monks from the nearby Basilica Santa Maria Novella.
Most of the rooms have this view over the cloister of the church of Santa Maria Novella.
Europeans don't implode ancient buildings, they transform them into hotels that are often attractions in their own right. Right here we have the beautiful Palazzo Manfredi. This is actually a hotel. At the top is a restaurant called Aroma. It's a Michelin star restaurant. Palazzo Manfredi was built right next to the site that the gladiators trained. So they would go through an underground tunnel into the Colosseum, wait at the bottom level of the Colosseum under basically the floor. And then when they were ready, they would be taken up in a lift and they would be out onto the Colosseum floor, ready to fight for literally for their lives. Love a hotel overlooking ruins, but a hotel on top of ruins? When in Rome, you have to stay by Roman ruins. And all around me right now are Roman ruins. This, however, is not. This is the Anatara Palazzo Naiadi in Rome's Piazza della Repubblica. The Basilica, what a great view. A 19th century neoclassical beauty that literally sits on top of the baths of Diocletian, part spa, part social club, dating back to the 3rd century. Back then, a Roman could bathe in hot and cold pools, work out at the gym, or stroll through the elaborate gardens. Today, it's mostly ruins, but you can still find traces. In fact, the hotel's conference room is nestled in what was once a library. I mean, why would you not want to have your reading here? You're literally sitting in an ancient room. Here in Europe, your hotel key opens more than a room. It opens a time capsule. Wow. Like Florence's Donati Luxury Tower and Suites. You're literally sleeping in a tower that was once a defensive fortress, essentially, for the family who lived here. So now we're on our way to a hotel called Helvetia in Bristol. This was built in the 1800s, and it was supposed to be for diplomats and other politicians who would come here. The Helvetia i Bristol Hotel opened in 1885. It's not only the oldest luxury hotel in Florence's historic center, it also features the biggest spa. Oh, but that's not all. The Roman bath path. The chic wellness complex sits inside the excavated remains of a 2,000-year-old Roman-era spa.
So here there are several different jet spots.
Why bulldoze the past when you can bathe in it? Number 2. Quirks are part of the charm.
Oh, this is sick.
Here, it's all about character, not cookie cutter. That means wonky layouts, uneven floors, ancient elevators. Oh my God, they're all on there? If they even have an elevator, which, by the way, they call a lift. Number 3, smaller rooms, bigger stories. Does the job. Rooms, beds, bathrooms, they're smaller. It's true, but it makes sense. Yes, very cool. Historic buildings weren't built to accommodate the changing times. You come by water taxi, they can just drop you off right here, right in front, step up, and there you are. One of the things that's so cool about Europe is that you could be sitting in a room and you have no idea that you're sitting in the very room where history was made. And this particular place has a particularly cool story. Just think of it this way. What you lose in square footage, you gain in style and story. So back in 1943, the Germans basically invaded Rome and they took over this hotel. So the Nazis were actually living at this hotel. 9 months later, on June 4th, 1944, shout out to my mom, she was probably 1 year old on that day, the Allies came in, kicked out the Nazis. American soldiers essentially started staying here. They turned this little area into basically their camp. and they would have foosball tables and pool tables, and all the little kids from the neighborhood would come in. This is a real connection to the United States, and it's basically why a lot of Americans end up coming here. Number 4, not all ratings are created equal. So in America, hotel stars are based on basically a standard formula. You need XYZ to be a 4-star hotel, for instance. In Europe, stars vary by country, region, even city, or even village. Hey guys, JetSetJuliet, and guess where I am? Roma, and I'm about to walk into the hotel that I have dreamed of staying at since I was a little kid. At the top of the Spanish Steps, we are going to the Hassler Hotel. The iconic Hassler Hotel is a luxury property, no matter where you're from. Look at this view. Oh my Lord. Ooh la la. But a 5-star hotel in Rome isn't necessarily the same as a 5-star in Tuscany. Here in Europe, ratings reflect things like location, exclusivity, and historical significance. A converted abbey with thick 4-poster beds, rooms with secret staircases, a bathroom and a turret, gardens designed by Capability Brown that, oh, by the way, also played a role in the infamous gunpowder plot, could absolutely be a 4 or even 5-star hotel, even if some of the hotel's guest rooms might be a little stuffy in the summer. At the Hotel Baglioni Luna, they have, as you see in many Venetian hotels, they have these incredible pieces that date back to the 1700s, 1800s. The point is, properties dating back hundreds of years or more are not only historically significant, but they're protected by heritage laws. So while some hoteliers would of course love to meet American standards, they can't because they're not allowed. The point is, luxury isn't always about scale. Number 5, service is subtle. Customer service here can be a little jarring for Americans. Overall, Europeans aren't as, how shall I say, over the top when it comes to chit-chat. Interaction is polite here, but generally it's a bit more reserved. Less Disney, more dignified. And number 6, the AC, or lack thereof. One of the biggest shocks for Americans is the AC situation. You know this, Europeans laugh at our obsession with cold things. In countries where you have to ask for ice for your drink, it's no surprise that even some so-called 4- and 5-star hotels think the AC means a fan in your bedroom. So yes, the mattress may not feel like a cloud, and the buffet might not stretch for miles, but you didn't fly across the Atlantic for this Paris. You came for the real thing.